Well, Samantha, thanks for joining me. Excited to hear about you, hear about your journey that you're on, and help some people with IBS and have some fun and inspire some people towards their preferable life.
Yeah, sounds great.
So catch me up. I think that what I heard from our prior conversation that you were awakened to this internet nomad thing a long time ago. And
Yeah.
because of kind of more recent life events and kind of a transition that's happening in the near future, you are taking the plunge and crafting your preferable life. Catch me up with that.
Yeah. So about 8 years ago, I went, maybe 10 years ago now, I went on vacation to the island of Roatan, and we stayed there for a month. We rented a house. It was me, my daughter, my partner. We had an amazing time. And I always knew that I wanted to go back there. So eventually I saw Miles. I heard about Miles at our high school reunion, and he was just on the journey, starting his journey, living nomadically. Like at that time, he was about to go to Mexico. I think was his first trip. Um, but at that point, I didn't even really know about living abroad or possibly working from another country or anything like that. So it's been an amazing time just kind of figuring out how these steps progress to me getting here now. My daughter just graduated from high school, and I'm really excited about being able and just moved out and going to college. So we're empty nesters at such a young age that I'm ready to get my business going off the ground, 100% focused, and hopefully be out of here in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yep. Steps to preferable life. Get pregnant when you're in high school.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
When you're ready,
Yeah.
it definitely forced me to grow up really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows where I would be right now if I didn't have her at the time that I did. Not that I was some crazy party or anything like that, but she really directed my life into responsibility and a vision of the future, things that I didn't have at that point in time.
That's super fun. So you got yourmiraculousbody.com.
Yeah.
And tell me how that name came about and what it's all about.
So when I bought this house, I started gardening. So about 9 years ago, I started gardening and really got into, I live in the Bay Area. We have a Mediterranean climate. We can garden year round here. Different vegetables, our seasons are not as dramatic as the further east you go. So once I started growing my vegetables, I was like, I know that vegetables are good for me, but why? And so I started researching, I started learning, and I joined a education group, Wellness Form Health, and I'm almost done. I'm about 80% done with my nutrition educator program, and it really taught me about the things that you put inside your body, how if we provide a good environment, we can overcome anything. Like chronic disease can be reversed. Everything, if we just give our body the environment that it craves, the food that it thrives on, that we can come back from virtually anything. So Your Miraculous Body is just the awe of our vessel. It's just amazing, the things that we don't have to think about breathing. We don't have to think about our heart beating. We don't have to think about all of these mechanisms that are going on all the time. Our bodies are just amazing.
No, that's super, super cool. If your steps will make my skin and face as pretty as your skin and face,
Oh, thanks.
then I'll take the steps too, because
Yeah.
you're killing it.
It's really, really exciting. I think I've been plant-based for probably around 6 years, with less and less animal products as I've continued on. And now we don't have any kind of animal products in the house. But when we go out to eat and things like that, my partner dabbles in animal products. He goes fishing too, but which him and his friend bought a boat. So things you do when you don't have a kid anymore, you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
That's super fun. So the Miraculous Body, and you have real help with IBS distress. And in our previous conversation, it sounded like IBS is really kind of a wake-up call, and kind of the steps to cure and or prevent are just really just the whole life steps that you need to give your miraculous body anyways, you need to do for your miraculous body.
Yeah.
Is that pretty accurate, or is that?
Yes. So there's really no cure to IBS, and there's really no cause that's known. It's just something that can just pop up out of nowhere for someone. It's a progression. They don't diagnose it until like you have to have the pain for 6 months, and they have these special like milestones that you have to hit for a certain amount of time before they'll even diagnose it. But because IBS, there's so much confusion in the medical literature. There's so much confusion for doctors, and people are almost hesitant to diagnose it because it borders on so many other disorders. The symptoms are virtually the same. And there's no test that you can take that goes, okay, you're IBS positive. It's more like an exclusion. You don't have this, you don't have this, you don't have this, you don't have this. Okay, we're going to say you have IBS. Mm-hmm. And so it's very discouraging to people because they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on, my stomach, problem with bowel movements, bloating, gas, like everything. There's this whole gamut of symptoms that they have. And they don't know what's happening. They're like, they can pinpoint, okay, well, if I eat onions, I get some gastrointestinal disruption, or if I get stressed out, so there's a huge connection to symptoms and stress, symptoms and specific foods. High fatty foods, right? Any kind of deep fried, drive through, that'll really trigger a flare up. And it's really about getting back to the basics, about really taking the time to work on that mental strength, rather than going for a stressful, rather than allowing yourself to get caught up in your emotions and stresses. It's really about developing a practice where you can take a moment and breathe if you need to, or just notice when you start getting tension in your body, like step back and go, all right, well, let me calm this down for a second. So it's a really good wake up call without having the end result being, okay, if you don't take care of this, you're going to end up with cancer. That's a common myth, is that IBS will inevitably lead to cancer, which it doesn't, thank God. But it really allows someone to kind of wake up and go, okay, well, what do I need to do? I need to start working on my mindset, work on different, whether it's a therapy or breathing techniques, and then really cleaning up the diet. It's really going back to basics. It's like fruits, vegetables, grains, and animal foods are in there. You can have them. They're not necessary, but you can still consume animal products. You just have to dial it back a little, that whole word moderation. What does that even mean? Like I eat 20 bags of M&Ms, is moderation 18, Yeah. So it's really having specific amounts that you go, okay, well, don't eat more than 2 to 3 animal products, or 2 to 3 servings of animal products per week, and then you go, okay, well, that's something that I can conceptualize.
Yeah. Have a really good relationship with a naturopath. And it sounds like it's very similar to just kind of the steps that our body goes into basically before it dies. And it sounds like it's really just a breakdown of the body, of red flags that you got to pay attention to.
There's even this mind-body, mind-gut connection. It's a brain-gut connection where we literally have these microbes inside of our digestive system that can manipulate our brain. Literally, the microbiota inside of our gut can make us depressed, can make us more susceptible to stress. If we strengthen and grow our beneficial bacteria, we can strengthen our mind. It's insane. I don't know. It's just, the body is a beautiful thing.
That's crazy profound. The mindset stuff is things that I had a huge depression situation about 3 years ago, and it's been just a journey of replacing negative thought patterns with positive thought patterns. And so it's kind of cool that you can take some probiotics and
It'll help. It'll help. It won't cure, but it'll help.
yeah, that's fun. Well, super cool. What are you writing on today, or have you already done your writing today?
I have not. It is almost 9 o'clock in the morning. I spent the morning cleaning the office to make sure that nothing was crazy scary. We're in the middle of remodeling the house. But so I'm working on my silo on stress management. So yesterday I actually did fascinating. Yesterday I get updates like Google alerts, but it's PubMed alerts as to what's new in IBS. Every week I get an email saying this is what the new research is. And so one of the newest forms of therapy that they're recommending, or that they say is a possibility, because there's so many options. It's really like a choose your own adventure type of thing. Is a therapy called ACT. And so yesterday I did a lot of research on that. That was a lot of fun. But I'm continuing on my stress silo. So actually I was thinking about doing just regular therapy. I've never really looked into regular psychological therapy. I've done like cognitive behavioral therapy, ACT, meditation, CBT, yoga. But I think that that's going to be my final one. And then I can do my mega post. Then when I write that, then I'm like, oh, well, they might not find the post that's literally specific for this. So I've got to put in as many details as I can for each individual one. So it's a lot of fun. It's almost like I get to visit the information over and over myself. So
Yeah, it's really, really powerful changing to a creator. It sounds like you're absolutely already a miraculous body expert and are going to be just ridiculous.
I am stoked. And I think that one of the things that scares me a little bit is that when you go into the online space or online business, where they go, okay, what are you good at? What can you teach that just comes naturally to make it just easier on yourself to be able to uplift and inspire from your core, right? But so I chose IBS. I don't have IBS. I've got a couple friends that have IBS that have actually used a lot of these principles already, which made me aware that this is the solution. But I chose a field that I spend probably 5 to 6 hours a day researching to write one article. And so that's a huge chunk of my day, really just researching one topic. And so it's really been uplifting, enlightening, exciting. I really enjoy research, but just being able to find out these things about IBS that doctors, IBS is what, this much of the spectrum that doctors deal with. And for me to find these nuances in 5 hours a day of research, they're not hyper focused like that.
Yeah.
So it's understandable that people go into the doctor's office and they leave so distraught with no answers because the physicians themselves don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they have a basic idea, but they're not hyper focused.
Well, that's super baller. Gonna change some lives, help some people, and coming from your personhood and coming alongside your just personal journey of health over the last 6-8 years and refining that, and that's super powerful.
Yeah.
What are some stress tips that you can help me out with in how to manage my stress?
So actually, I was working on a recording for deep breathing, belly breathing.
Okay.
So you put your hand above your belly button and one hand on your chest. And then when you breathe, you want to breathe from your abdomen and your chest stays still. So you breathe in.
Like a baby.
And breathe out. Yeah. And so you want to have that inflation of your belly up and down. And you can even count as you breathe. So one inhalation, and then on your exhale, imagine a word, relax or let go. Something that really resonates with you on your out breath. And then breathe in, 2. Breathe out, and then your power word or relaxation word. and you do that 1 through 10, and then you can start all over. So 2 minutes of that in the morning, in the evening. It doesn't even have to really be 2 minutes, just enough to get yourself recentered. This breathing, it's pretty amazing. I was looking for videos or recordings online that I could link out to, but the voices, the videos that I found, I'm like, maybe I'm gonna have to do this myself. And I do not have a relaxing voice. So I was telling my sister, I was like, I don't even like the way I enunciate words. So I've been working on my slow talking, breathe in, breathe out.
Well, no, just in doing it 3 times, I felt space come, and let go was the word that I used, because that is holding it in your hand so that it can be not like this, but like this. So let go. It's powerful.
Yeah, it is.
So breathe like a baby with your hand above your belly button and on your chest,
Yeah.
and speak out let go, or think let go, or
Yeah, just think
let
of you can do it all in your mind. Just think about it. You can do it standing, you can do it laying, you can do it sitting. You can even once you're able to know how to breathe from your diaphragm naturally, you don't have to put your hand, you know what I mean? You
Okay.
could do it in line at the grocery store, you can anywhere, you
Yeah.
know.
That's fun. So why'd you choose the word create to put
Um
back there?
because I've always been really hands-on. I really like to create. I'm not the best writer. I'm working on that. But hands-on wise, when Pinterest came out, I was obsessed. I have that whole closet is filled with craft stuff, yarn, fabric scraps, and all sorts of stuff. That's chalkboard paint that I made and I put on the on the closet. And that's actually old placemats that had stains on them. They were cork from IKEA, and I took I have a vinyl cutter, an industrial vinyl cutter. So I made the words create, and then I just used an X-Acto knife, and I was like, this can be like a push pin board.
Well, that's fun. Create is, I think it's the key to carving out your life, is to physically manifest something from your head and get it out.
Yes. So speaking of manifestation, this morning I was making coffee, and I was like, man, I need to sweep the floor. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time. And as I was grinding the coffee, and like I do a little, like I pat it to move my coffee grounds, and I was about to put it into the carafe, and a bunch of the grounds fell to the floor. And I was like, well, you said you wanted to sweep. You manifested, you definitely got to sweep right now. Like, you're not leaving these coffee grounds. And it's so funny because I giggle to myself because I'm like, yeah, but the universe knew that I wanted my floor swept. So it's like, let's just do it. Just do it right now.
That's awesome. Well, super cool. Well, what do you want people to know about you and to engage with you? How can they connect? How can they reach out? How can you help, and all that kind of stuff?
So right now, I don't have a course developed. I'm really just creating content. So anybody that has friends, family, themselves suffering with IBS, just take a gander at yourmiraculousbody.com and see what the research has to say. At the bare minimum, I'll have 3 different medical studies that I reference, and in upwards to maybe 10 or 11. But every single article that I write is referenced, it's researched, and it's what's currently available in the medical literature. So just take a gander, just expand your mind. The more you can learn about your diagnosis, the better you're going to be. If you're a well-informed patient, you can go to your doctor and be like, hey, I heard about this. Can I try this? Or, hey, what do you think about this? Do you have a recommendation? Do you have a CBT therapist that I could possibly schedule an appointment with? It's literally, there are so many different forms of treatment outside of the normal pharmacological method, that it's mind-blowing to see that the effectiveness of just meditation or yoga or just walking, it's amazing.
And then for us that are currently not in IBS, the situation there, it sounds like the principles are going to be very fundamental to just holistic healthness. Is that accurate as well?
Yes, your daily fare should have the foundation of 64 ounces of water, period. And then just eat your fruits and your vegetables and your grains, and just eat the things that will nourish your body. When you consume something, you want to know that it is uplifting and is nourishing you. You don't want to eat something just because, hey, well, ice cream, things like that. It's always fun to splurge, but the main component of your diet, the majority of your diet should be something that's going to support your dream. And you want to live a happy, healthy life. You want to live symptom free. You want to be free of chronic disease and everything like that. So if you eat healthfully, you can avoid 80-90% of these chronic diseases that we experience here in Western nations.
Sounds super. Just follow your intuition and have fun in a actual moderate way. So don't be a Nazi about ice cream.
Yeah, there's always room for treats. It's just treats aren't every day. You don't have dessert after every meal.
Yeah.
Treats are treats. They're fun.
That's super cool. Well, excited that thank you for joining me and teaching me the relax breathing thing, and for your crazy in-depth passion to go deep in this very serious illness, for lack of a better word. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, disorder, illness.
And help a bunch of people and craft your preferable life and hit your nomad funness.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Well, can I catch back up in a few months and track your progress and kind of document your journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about my preferable life all this morning, and I honestly can say that I have crafted my preferable life. No complaints. I'm blessed.
That's super cool. It is. Very few can say that. Like I said, hit rock bottom, and that's very inspiring that it is doable and can be done, and that you're leading the way. Well, thanks for connecting.
Yeah, absolutely.